Hoje tem café? Tem café? Hoje tem café? Pode. Tem café? Tem café? Pode. 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 Café? Pode. Café? Quer café?
Muito bem. Estamos começando mais um Podcafé da TI, podcast, tecnologia e cafeína. Meu nome é Anderson Fonseca, o Mr. Anderson, e hoje, The Books on the Table, vamos bater um papo incrível com o senhor Harish Sekar, evangelista sênior, técnico da ManageEngine, levando conhecimento sobre os produtos no mundo inteiro. E esse papo nós vamos bater em inglês, pois é, mas não se preocupe, porque semana que vem já vai sair a versão Herbert Richards, totalmente traduzida, para você também poder acompanhar o papo em português. Mas para você que manja dos inglês, vamos que vamos.
Aqui é Diogo Junqueira, VIP da ACSoftware, e para nós é um prazer receber hoje o nosso amigo Harish da ManageEngine.
I am Harish Sekar, and I'm from ManageEngine. I head the business development for the Active Directory and IT security line of products. Thanks for having me today.
Meu nome é Emanuel, sócio fundador da ACSoftware. E hoje será um prazer estar participando pela primeira vez do podcast com o Harish, da ManageEngine.
É isso aí. So, Harish, tell me, how about your career? You are in long time already with ManageEngine, and we know that this is a very important year for ManageEngine. He's turning 20. Wow, that's a long time already. And you have been there for a long time, and you start with a support engineer, and today you have one of the fanciest jobs as a global speaker, traveling all around the world. Tell us about that and how that works for you.
That's a good question. And this is my 10th year at Zoho, right? And from here, ManageEngine turned 20 this year, and I'm halfway through.
You did, Harish, you did talk, have been a long journey already, right? 10 years. And and how you feel, how it is to be in contact, direct contact all around the world with different cultures and have the opportunity to really be a chief director evangelist and speak about the most important security things in the world for people all around the world, different kind of cultures, different kind of companies, but it's always IT, right? IT security, and how you feel like that, because I know I have seen you talking in many places, and you like star, man. Everybody goes and go ask you questions, and it's really amazing how you domain that.
It's like to be an IT rock star.
Yeah, it's an IT rock star. Yeah, he is an IT rock star. That's the real deal.
Does he have bodyguards? Do you have bodyguards?
I wish. I've got a 5-year toddler who's my bodyguard. Right. So thank you, Diego, for this. With all humility, all of it goes to ManageEngine and Zoho Corporation for investing in me. I was a nobody. I'm still a nobody. And ManageEngine took me up, and they gave me the space to learn, the confidence to go about dealing with a very difficult task. But I'll take these questions into two halves. The first thing is how a person who's managed a 40-computer lab is now talking to administrators, IT security professionals, CISOs, CIOs, or CTOs. So the problem statement was, when I was managing just the smallest lab ever, if I could ever say, 40 computers with respect to IT, the problems that I faced was humongous, right? There are 20 machines in Windows, 20 in Macintosh. There were students walking in and walking out, and they each needed their own profile. They each needed to go about building what they need. And that was lacking way back in 2009 to 2012. So we were sitting and we were architecting what needs to be done in our school. So this is exactly where the problem statement started. So when ManageEngine Zoho happened, it was like a blessing in disguise, where the problem statements that we had. So we used to my boss and the colleagues that we worked in the school that I studied in the US, they did script. We used a lot of scripting and a little bit of solutions that were available back then. And when I joined ManageEngine, the solutions were all existing in the portfolio. It's just that we didn't, or nothing happened on the ManageEngine side with the school. And when I joined Zoho Corporation, jumped into the AD suite of team, instantly there were answers for problems which were half-baked or that people had no clue about. Focus on IT security. Today, people think, we are in 2022, people still have no clue about how to defend their perimeter. And now with the COVID striking, the perimeter has grown out of proportion, right?
Yeah.
Back then, it was just the organizational perimeter that you need to focus on. But now every endpoint is a perimeter, right?
Yes.
You have a laptop, everybody has a mobile. How are you going to stay protected? And don't forget the marketing lines like machine learning in one button. Don't forget the magic lines like zero trust. Don't forget the magic lines like, hey, don't worry, we can get you covered in less than 5 minutes and your organization is covered. All of these magic lines never happened, right?
Yes, never happened.
Right? We've all heard about this. And this is exactly where ManageEngine's perspective differed. So they were not trying to sell, they were trying to educate. This is a personal experience that I have had over this is my 10th year. And I keep saying that because when you stay with a company, either the first thing that sticks with you is how do you get treated and how are the resources and how do they go about building the career for you, right? So this is exactly where you go ahead and understand the knowledge transfer sessions, how they go about educating, investing in people, and how deep you could go. And all of this knowledge transfer is what I do to my customers, to CISOs, to CTOs, to CIOs, right? It's about how could you help them. And in IT security, you look back to philosophy. And the only line that I always believe is it's just a matter of time before any organization gets breached. Just a matter of time.
Yeah,
but how quick are you going to bounce back?
That's the real question. It's about when and exactly when they decided to go, they will go. They will get it. There is no way. It's a rat and mice run, and it keeps going on. So and always someone trying to invent something to protect, and on the other hand, there's a lot more people trying to invent something to attack you, right? So it never ends. So how quickly you respond to that, it's a real answer. You have to be prepared to the attack, and you have to be ready. And that's I see here in Brazil, especially that sometimes or most times or 90% of times people just get panic. That happens a lot. Panic. That's turn everything down. Broke the glass. Turn on. Cut the cables. That's what happens. Because that's that. Cut the cables, please, because they have no idea what to do. And sometimes yes, exactly. And that's a real problem. And when they have the idea, another thing that I see here, Harish, it's very strange because they have maybe the plan on the paper, but they never have done some tests. Like, for example, Netflix was, especially with the monkey case, that they go there and destroy the things just to see what's going to happen, right? So they don't do those kind of tests. They don't know the real deal, what's going to happen. So they have everything right in the book. Oh, let's read the book. Let's read the book. It's like driving a plane and there's no flight simulator. And the guy or the pilot just say, whoa. And now let's learn what to do. There is no time, right? The plane is going to crash. The plane is going to crash. There is no other way. So that's why pilots get training for every kind of situation. Yeah. And in IT, maybe they just go there, they just write things down. They think they have a plan. they think they are prepared. And when it happened, the plan just never tested. They don't have opportunity to maybe do one case, one amount, some situations that really gonna show, oh, that's what happened in the real deal. Let's try that. And I see that a lot, and I don't know if it's around the world as well, how it is, but in Brazil, I see people just panic when something really bad happens, and does happen.
Diego, this is across the globe. This is just not in Brazil. This is from Australia to Canada. Any geography you go, any language you speak, IT is tough. It is not easy. It is the same.
It's a funny thing because we talk all the time about zero trust, and crisis is the only thing you can have 100% trust. That's gonna be a crisis, and maybe it's about understand the real role in the security, because I'm starting to use the Active Directory, okay, but don't figure out actually I am a security guy. I believe that is that's understanding until now across the globe.
See, the whole idea is about being consistent. It's all about taking care of the small steps, right? And suddenly, you won't believe, there were, of course, I get to meet a lot of amazing people when I travel, especially with IT security. And two of them did ask me, I want to jump into zero trust in a week's time. This is their question. They want to jump into zero trust in a week's time. So I was telling them, I mean, it could be possible, but we need to sit down and first we need to know what you have. What are your resources? Who are your people? Where is data? You need to classify how big is your perimeter? What's your infrastructure? All of this takes time. So this is exactly where you need to take baby steps. And Diego, coming back to your point about is it same in every country? I mean, social media does not spare anybody these days, right?
Yeah.
If you are breached, right, you get to know tomorrow. It's either you get to know it or the social media will tell you.
Yes, that's it.
Right?
That's exactly.
It's about who knows it first.
Yeah, who knows it first. There's no way to hide it.
Exactly.
It's just be crazy, right? That's what I think.
So this is exactly where the question that Anderson just poked at me right now. This is where the method of operation that ManageEngine offers is, well, this is a process. This is not an immediate answer here. How could you stay within this process and safely sail over and stay protected, right? And this is where knowledge transfer is absolutely important. Many of them who breathe Active Directory know how vulnerable it is. Many of them who breathe Azure Active Directory know how easy it is to gain access to a machine, right? So this is exactly where you need to give them what they need in very minimal time, because people are very pressed for time post the pandemic.
Yeah, that's right. Another thing that you really told me, and I really like you to share, because one of the things that really, well, before working with ManageEngine, you should work with another vendor, American one. I won't cite the name, but well, I didn't like to work with them because it was about numbers, always about numbers and about targets, and never about people, and never about the product or the customers. And something that really got me in love with ManageEngine with you guys was even have the opportunity to tell Emanuel and our other partner, Augusto, is because in ManageEngine Zoho, I feel like home. It's like dealing. I have the opportunity to go a lot of times in Engine, and you guys talk to me with so much respect and talking with so much kindness and do everything. And you really design a product not thinking about numbers in the quarters, not thinking about selling or marketing things. You design products for the needs of the customers. And there is some, when I first arrived there, I said, this product is too cheap. Why? It's so cheap. Why so affordable? Right? That was my question. I was crazy. Oh man, they can sell that for so much more because the competition does. Then I was, well, a long time ago, 11, 12 years ago, right? So I didn't understood in the first place, man, they could, well, the competition is selling that for 10, 20 times more. Why they don't want to make that money? And then I understood that you want to make it affordable. You always want to change the IT world, and you did it. You did it. Like AD, why it's leader market share here in Brazil. I'm pretty sure it's around the world. The AD solution, AD audit, AD manage. People just love it. Whoever tries, they don't take it out. They cannot live without it, right? So AD360 is a rock star. And I know you guys have done amazing job. How is that culture that, well, ManageEngine is celebrating turn 20, and I never see a guy working Zoho unhappy. That's something that really amazed me. And I really like you to tell that culture from inside, because I always tell people from outside, and coming from someone from inside and have the opportunity to live that in Chennai, and well, that must be amazing.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I always say this, God willing, I am the hero in front of the camera, but behind me, there's a lot of people who need special mention, right? From my CEO, to my vice president, to my director of engineering, to my product marketing team, to my business development team, to my support team. I have to thank everyone. So whatever you said, I will ensure that I pass this message to my team back here, because it's their hard work is what reflects when I stand in front of the stage, right? It is with due effort and the hard work that every single person here at Zoho Corp has put. So how did we go about building this? And then I will give you what's lying ahead. That's interesting too. So Zoho grows on Zoho. So this is a small philosophy that we follow, or principle that we follow, because now we are about close to 12,000 plus, or touching 13,000 plus employees across the globe. So we have problems at home. So when Zoho has so many people, we have problems, right? When you have more than two people, my CEO always talks about this. When you have more than two people,
you have wrong.
Right? And especially
you guys
when
also have an AD to manage.
12,000, man.
Yes.
I told you we grow on Zoho. Zoho grows on Zoho. So the products that we built today have been broken over the years. Like in the initial phase, the identity access was the biggest problem ever. And then Active Directory happened. And then AD Manager, AD Audit helped Zoho to protect their infrastructure, to automate their infrastructure. So this is a beautiful story that we go about telling, right? And like a person like Sridhar, whom we all look up to, he is our CEO. He's very grounded, and to him, business is about celebrating each other and, of course, giving it back. It's not about just to retain or rip anybody off of their cost or make it. That's exactly why our products are extremely cost efficient. And that is something we go by, even Zoho ManageEngine. And with all of this said, with AD Manager, AD Audit, AD360, or any of the products that come from ManageEngine portfolio, there's a lot of thinking that goes within. So for instance, endpoint security is very, very important. We've got endpoint security. Then comes your SIEM, which is the heart of your cybersecurity today. And Zoho grows on Log360, which is our integrated SIEM. So the problem statement was within. So for instance, we generally joke about this at Zoho. When we send an email asking everyone not to click, everybody clicks.
That's great.
Across the globe.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to do that. Come on. Yeah. It's great.
Right?
Don't click
and trust me, you know how many IT security professionals clicked
A lot.
Right?
a lot. Just because it's not to click, right?
Right?
Yes, what gonna
Because
happen?
it's human nature to click. It's
Yeah,
human
that's
nature to
right.
click because
Yeah.
it's so bound, like, let's click and see. And this is exactly where the importance of security lies. So, for instance, the approach that we took in 8360 team was, what happens if everybody clicks and still they don't have any permission? This was a problem statement, right? When people click, how could we remove all of their permissions with respect to Active Directory? And they can only change their own password. And they can, if they need something, let them raise a ticket. So this is exactly where ManageEngine sits on top of your Active Directory, on top of your Azure Active Directory. And as Diego mentioned before, when there is an attack, when there is a problem, you don't have to cut the cables anymore. All you just need to do is come and ensure that the products are working fine and ensure that the technicians are disabled. It's as simple as that, because your native side permissions are being looked after and it's cleaned, it's nice and neat just the way, and you are monitoring your infrastructure in and out. So anybody who clicks is under radar now. Anybody who does any damage is under radar, and that's exactly where our 8360 solution and Log 360 solution plays a bigger hand. And now coming to what's lying ahead, like the future scope.
Yeah,
use
that's
case.
a good question. That's always a good question. The roadmap.
Right. So I'll ask you a few questions, Diego, Gomez, Anderson. How many accounts do you have?
Well, lots. Too many.
Right?
Too many.
Too many, right? Fantastic.
Too many.
And let's say the future we are taking is Diego at Active Directory could be Diego at dot last name at ACS or whatever be it. That's your Active Directory username. And then there is your local account on your machine. And then there is your account for your FTP server, account for your RDP, and then account for your browser, then account for
Too
X,
many
Y, and
accounts.
Z.
yeah. Too many cloud solution, SaaS solution,
Right.
too many passwords, too many accounts. It's crazy.
Exactly, right? So when you talk to a CISO or an auditor, when I go and say, you know what, Diego 1, Diego 2, Diego 3, Diego 5, Diego 6 is doing all the damage, the auditor will look at you and ask the question, are you out of your mind?
Of course.
Right? There are 6 Diegos here. How can 6 Diegos cause a problem, right? This is exactly where the world is focusing now. So at ManageEngine Log 360, what are we looking at is, how could we simplify this problem? How could I know that Diego is the culprit and his Active Directory account? How could I map it with all of his accounts? RDP, FTP server, then jumping into a local account, Active Directory. How could I map it? So one identity across the perimeter. This is the future we are taking. Yeah. And of course, password is one of the biggest problem ever, and it'll always be the problem, Diego.
Yeah, it
Passwords. I generally joke about this. Passwords are like the love-hate relationship we always have with passwords.
Yes.
It's not going to go anywhere. Of course, from the question itself, I'm not even going to ask you all. I don't love my passwords.
Yeah,
I actually hate it. Right?
Well, everyone hates, right?
What do you think is the solution for passwords?
Best way is, if I could give you the answer right now, it is biometrics. That's the only answer for it.
Yeah.
Right? Biometrics, that's the only way. That's like the final button. But again, what in case if my thumb gets cut, or I have an eye surgery, or I do a plastic surgery on my face? What happens then? Again, there's no final answer for this, but
yeah,
right,
but,
passwords again.
Because I'm pretty sure
at this time it's clear. It's about people and it's about identification, not about user and password. It's about who is these people.
Exactly.
special?
That's
Exactly.
the exactly question. That's exactly the point. And as you said, well, that's crazy security dark business, right? The dark side of the business is so big that it's you can lose your finger for that. I'm pretty sure it's a kind of $1 billion market, right? They sell the data for that, and I'm pretty sure someone in whatever place there can cut someone's finger just to have it or something like that. It's crazy to talk, but it's not something that out of the mind. It looks like a movie, okay, but can be done. That's it's crazy. But I think when you saw a solution, and I did do that pretty well. Try to bring everything in one identity, and try to do single sign-on or something like that. Can mirror think and try to minimize the Diogo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Is that those are something that really AD helps a lot. ID solution helps a lot, right?
Absolutely. You would still be surprised if I tell you how many people that I've met on the road across the globe, they still use username and password for their RDP, and they still trust the native password policy that they have.
No
I'm not kidding.
way.
I'm not making up stuff. I've got details, which is work in pipeline. So that's exactly why I'm telling you this is humongous. Even in 2022, people are taking passwords lightly, and the problem is the native technology does not give you that security. Well, back in the days, password at 123 was good because it was better than nothing.
Yeah, that's of course.
Right.
Yeah,
And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's better. It's double better.
It's better than 1, 2, 3, huh?
Anderson, that was a 14-character password, by the way.
And
this is where you have to educate them, and that is the problem. And this is where at ManageEngine, in the future that we're looking at is how could passwords be the identity? And let's say if it's a fine day, I forgot my phone, I'm not able to log into my email, but I've got any other authentication mechanism with me, that should give me access, right? It is me, out of the ways the administrator has asked me to authenticate, either one, and that's where conditional access also comes into picture, right? So for if you are in Brazil in your office, just give me your username, password, and your OTP to your phone. But if you're in India, I want you to go about doing it 4 or 5 times because you're not in my perimeter. So I need to validate. So all of this needs to be seamless, and this comes with time. And this is where we are focusing on how we can simplify these password related concerns, be it on management side, be it on reporting side. And on the other side, how could we help the end users as well and not bore them, because once they get bored, they're going to keep sending you those emails. Hey, I hate this password request. I hate this
People
password
need to click
request.
something.
Right, exactly. So this is
You
the
know what I
future.
do sometimes when I have to reset passwords? So I have one that it's the standard, right?
Okay.
And for example,
Everybody has
is
one.
just like what Anderson said, it's password, but I use a different word. So let's say it's ASDF and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what I do is I just go one more. Oh, you have to change it. So I just add one character, one digit, and the extra number, because I'm lazy. I'm not like Diogo. So that's what I do.
That's a fantastic point you made. Again, this is where human psychology differs. For instance, everybody has banking account, right? Over there, if you focus, there's no Control-C, Control-V option. It does not work. You can't do ASDFGH or QWERTY or ZXCVB. You cannot do that. Over there, we accept because it's money. Over here, right? Over here, it is the identity. So this is where the contrast in thought perception appears. And if at all, people are a little more, I wouldn't say they're not, everybody's lazy. Humans are lazy. Err is to human. If at all, we just think just a little bit, how can we protect our identity? That's the baseline for security. This is the approach that we're taking. And on the identity management space, how could we help people with vendor aggregation that we're doing about the REST APIs? How could we go about build people to come into Active Directory through our solutions from other vendors? This is exactly where we are taking. This is the path forward.
Yeah, I'm very
That's
happy
a good part. That's a good part for us.
Yeah.
How we can bring more revenue.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, and it's great that the government is working on this, but the truth of the matter is we need to do a better job of protecting ourselves. You know, the most popular password in the United States is password 123. And as long as that's the case, we're vulnerable. So today we sent a camera out on the Hollywood Boulevard to help people by asking them to tell us their password. And this is how that went.
We're talking about cybersecurity today and how safe people's passwords are. What is one of your online passwords currently?
It is my dog's name and the year I graduated from high school.
Oh, what kind of dog do you have?
I have a Chihuahua Papillon,
And what's its name?
Jameson.
Jameson. And where'd you go to school?
I went to school back in Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
What school?
Hempfield Area Senior High School
Oh, when did you graduate?
in 2009.
Oh, great.
It's like my cat's name and then just like a random number.
Okay. Has you had this cat for a while?
Yeah, she's my childhood pet.
Aw. And what's her name?
Her name is Jolie.
Jolie. So like a password of yours would be Jolie and then a number.
Yeah.
Like number 1?
Like my birthday,
Oh, when is your birthday?
June 12th,
Oh, nice. And what year were you born?
95.
Oh, great. So Jolie, 6, 12, 95.
Yes.
Got it.
So you mean to give my password right now? No, I cannot do that.
But we all want to know what it is so we can tell you if it's strong or not.
Oh my goodness. Let me think. Okay, one is Tel Aviv. Yeah. 468, and then Israel. It's only 3, but it's for me it's strong enough.
Ireland 1 2 3 4. Gemma 1 2 3. Spelled Gemma.
Well, most of them are Italian.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Like what's a good Italian password?
My grandma's name,
What's your grandma's name?
Maria.
Maria. So Maria is your password?
Oh yeah, now you know my password. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, the important thing is they learned terrible.
And well, we are exactly aligned. Well, there was no partner event this year, so I missed that. But the good thing is because I follow you and I follow everyone there that speak, and I told my team EAM is gonna be the next thing. I already told my team. Was endpoint managed before the pandemic. Now EAM, where we have to focus because that's gonna be the next thing. And I'm very happy to hear from you now. Exactly, you were telling that what I said in the beginning of the year is what we have to focus because it's a big mess right now, and a lot of the problems, 70% of the problems here in Brazil happen because inside guys have problem with identity. And that's not someone from outside.
That's crazy. Because, when you think about a hacker, what is a hacker or somebody? Well, it's most of times it's somebody trying to impersonate somebody, trying to use somebody data. So
Exactly.
you always think about somebody outside, but sometimes it's inside. It's just somebody trying to impersonate somebody, trying to use somebody users and data.
And then you would be surprised to know that most of the attacks that are happening today is internal.
Yeah.
It's internal. Okay. Let's take a quick example here. Emanuel Celestino. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. So, right. So over here, if we go about, I can just make about 5 to 6 guesses to find his username. Okay. It could be Emanuel.Celestino or Emanuel Celestino, or I can find his date of birth. It will be available on social media. And then I can find out which company he works for. And in less than 4 to 5 guesses, his username combination comes up to me. And then I can keep pressing enter. The least I could do is I could lock out Emanuel right now. Right? That's the least I could do. Right? These are all things that I'm talking about, which IT security people are focusing today, because even Microsoft themselves says the account lockout policy cannot be 5 or 6, and you cannot measure login failures because of that. And I was like, okay, let's keep it 999 now. Let's keep the account lockout threshold to 999. How does that matter? I can just do a script and do it 1,000 times, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
And that's a brute force attack. It's going to happen.
That's still a brute force. That's still a
Happens
brute
every
force.
day. Happens every day.
Oh, yeah. You would be surprised on how many people are performing this every second as we speak. And this is exactly where I'm comparing questions that were asked before. How could we educate our IT security professionals? First, break the combination of your first name dot last name being your user principal name. Break it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have date of birth there. Don't have your personal number there. Don't have anything that is possible, right? That's exactly where people should break their head to know what your username should be. And there's a study which says anything about 5 to 6, right? 5 to 6 characters with a word. People generally don't register that quickly.
Yeah. And another thing is, well, everyone has like, yesterday was my kid's birthday, so probably they know her name and they know their day of birth because I post on social media. So if I use that as my password, I'm done. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm done. So they will try to brute force that. So that's those kind of things that are in social media and they can find easily or what for every reason. You have to think that don't use that. Don't use it. Don't use Star Wars. Like I'm a big fan of Star Wars, and they see always here. Don't use Star Wars here, okay? Because
I love Star Wars too.
Never use your dog's name also.
Yeah. Don't use your dog name because you're gonna post a dog name. That's kind of thing that it's pretty simple advice, but people do it all the time, and that's crazy. It's just unbelievable.
Right, you're talking about passwords now. Let me quickly give you a small other use case, which is very relatable as we speak. I'm doing this from my home today, and I'm connected to my home network.
Okay.
And if everybody could see this, of course, you all have a service provider. You could go into your router page, and you can check on your encryption of your service provider. You could just see if it is WPS or WES or WPA2. So in security language, that is close to nothing.
Yeah.
That is the encryption you're getting. And of course, the passwords are going to be a telephone number. This is how it is.
Yeah, it
Our
is.
passwords are our telephone number, so it's easy to break in.
Admin.
Admin, easier.
Sometimes the guy build. I see all the time. Well, when I need, when I'm in the restaurant or somewhere that I really need to use the Wi-Fi, I kind of discover the Wi-Fi name. Yeah, it's better than ask. Sometimes better than ask for the password because people that build there is so easy. Sometimes it's. Admin happens all the time. Yeah, hoot, and there's a way. And in small hotels as well. It's always they just it's crazy, man. I was in a big chain of hotel, and I did that, and then I saw so many people connected. I said, "Oh my God, everyone connected here. I could have access because they were sharing a lot." Was crazy what I started to say. Let me get out of this network right now. Because this is the most unprotected, and it was a big chain hotel. Was a big chain one. I won't mention because it's a really bad for them. But it was a big chain. So I go back to my VPN and connected, and was crazy.
No, I said that I'm lazy about my passwords, but the password for my machine, it's 26 digit long.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck with you.
It's a pray.
And
Oh God, please don't let that hacker in.
Yeah, it's a race, something like that. Probably 26. It's crazy.
Yeah, I gently call 26 character passwords as a simple word called punishment.
Punishment, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And when you make a mistake and you have to redo it.
Oh my God. It's a text.
Terrible.
But Harish, I believe that's it's the point at where ManageEngine does so much for us, because if you don't have a tool, it's a knowledge competition. So you against your enemy, against the hacker, against somebody else with bad intentions. So in a knowledge competition, come on, man, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. You need a tool.
For someone who's gonna lose, you can win for one, but you're gonna find someone that you're gonna beat you. That's for sure.
Someday you're gonna have a
So as we talk about these knowledge sessions, right? 3 important tips, right, for people to understand that their native technology, which they have in Active Directory, they could protect their endpoints. When I say endpoints, I will be very clear with what is possible. So for instance, I have my laptop. So first I need to know what permission I have on the machine, right? This is basics. You have to know if you can install something, if you can run something. This is basics of any person using their laptop. So Active Directory gives you this ability to protect the endpoint. When I say protect, you can prevent certain applications from being installed, being run. Well, this is possible. This is exactly where knowledge sessions are very, very important, right? You can create a profile. They can only do certain things in a specific folder. And after some time, if they're out, it can be wiped. So there are small hidden gems in Active Directory through group policy object. And in the Azure space, yes, it is protected. The baselines are covered. So this is where you have to educate people. And that's just not only about selling. It's about telling them, hey, listen, this is also possible. So in Azure, if anybody signs up today, I can give a document to a person who is not belonging to the domain. That's called guest access, right? And he or she in return can give it to somebody else. He or she can give it to somebody else. So the chain just keeps going across and across and across if they have the right privilege. It's all about educating them. And that's exactly where ManageEngine over 20 years this year has been very successful in helping people build something comprehensible with time.
That's great, and it really works, man. And something that they really mentioned, Azure and cloud. The world is going hybrid to cloud right now. It's of course that's gonna happen, and it's happened faster than we think. And well, AD solution already prepared for Azure tenants and stuff like that. So tell us more what's coming, what's you looking for the cloud world, and because I'm pretty sure people are getting crazy. If you're on premise, they are already crazy, and when they think cloud, they give it. It's something that I'm pretty sure CISOs around the world don't sleep because of that. They don't sleep because, oh my God, what's gonna happen? It's today or tomorrow. I'm pretty sure they are very afraid. Everyone gets afraid to be the next one on the news.
True, very true.
So do you think that's the next products that what's coming? We will always focus on cloud as well. What's if you can share, of course. What's...
Sure.
I know
you are
Harish.
the guy. You are literally the guy with the roadmap in your hands. So show us the future.
Right? Oh, absolutely. So I'll be happy to, because we at ManageEngine we'll ensure we under promise and over deliver. So what we have done is, initially we were in the on-premise space. Right now, most of our solutions have moved to the cloud. So, for instance, Log360, which is our integrated SIEM, was on-prem, but now we have it on the cloud. And through a lightweight agent, you can focus on your on-premise, but all of the configurations, all of the signups, everything happens on the cloud. So it's available as we speak today. It's on Log360 cloud. Yes, the roadmap is being hybrid. Because according to me, according to what people say, hybrid is the future, at least for the next couple of years, or maybe minimum of 5 years, because we're still debating about whether to go to office or not. Many parts of the world, we still want to stay home. Many are saying we need to go to the office. It's a hybrid model. So the on-prem and cloud version is exactly where we're looking at. And this is where ManageEngine and Zoho is a match made in heaven. Zoho solutions are for the cloud. ManageEngine has on-premise, and also now most of our solutions are on cloud. Service Desk Plus is available on the cloud. Then the endpoint functionalities, few of the products are on the cloud. Site 24/7, now Log360 cloud. So the path that we are taking is how could we ensure that the hybrid workforce, hybrid requirement from organizations are looked after with having on-premise ability and also on the cloud infrastructure. But yes, we are working real hard. For instance, the CASB, which is the Cloud Access Security Broker functionality, which you all will be knowing of, which is the base of data leak prevention, or I'm sorry, the DLP is the base, CASB sits on top of it, where if anybody is deleting information or copying information or moving it to the cloud, how can you stay protected? How can you be notified? And user identity is something that we're investing on big time, about predicting analysis, predicting risk score, unified identity mapping. And these are the features that we are working rapidly now, and moving to the cloud is our next big jump for products which have not moved to the cloud.
That's great to hear, man. That's very, very great to hear. And when you said credit, we always talk about machine learning, all the web and everything that you already do great in Log360 and other solutions. That is just amazing how it works. And well, after 7 days analyzing someone, they can predict, well, that's not the right behavior. Let's flag that thing, and really works. People are is amazed with that. It's really not just marking words. It's the real deal.
Right. I generally poke a statement to everybody that I talk to, subject to their network conditions. They don't need to call me. They don't need to call Diago. They don't need to call Anderson, Gomez, or Emanuel. Just download AD Audit Plus. And in 30 minutes, you will get to know where you stand.
Yeah.
In 30 minutes, subject to your network conditions, you will get to know where you stand, where your Active Directory stands,
yeah,
and what you need to do in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and you're going to be scared. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are going to be scared. So many privilege you have that you have no idea. So many accounts that you have no idea, because I have seen, and I always, that's something that I always like to do. When I'm with a customer that has never installed AD, I like to be with him when he does. Just to look in his face and see, whoa, what is that was happening here? Oh, true. I don't know. That's what you say. Can you check? And sometimes the guys go there. It's real. Do a partial. It's real, man. I said, yeah. You don't need to install. You just need to purchase this license, and it's done.
True. Right? It's all about the value that it offers.
Yeah, that's the value.
For the administrators, the IT security professionals, I've seen some like their eyes being moist when the alerts flash in, when the alerts happen on the box of our solution, because they tell me stories about how many years they sit and they try figuring out something and that never worked. And here is something that they've been always looking out for. And yeah, I've seen them moist. Of course, when you're on the road, such stories keeps you going, right? It's helping people, putting up a smile for IT technicians and ensuring that, hey, you are the superheroes. You are the real superheroes.
It's great.
Yeah.
I would love to have an alert, like a kidnapper message, like, if you want to sleep again, man, give us a call today.
And for that, the baseline
Sleep
need to be
again,
strong,
come on.
right? For that specific line to work, baselines, everybody needs to focus on. That's my only request. Focus on your baselines. Don't reach for the sky now. Make sure that you are grounded. And if your foot is strong, then we can reach for the sky. Focus on basics now.
That's very good advice, because we see here sometimes small, medium, and big companies always trying to go to zero trust. And when we're going to see the basic, and we do, when we run there and the basic is a mess yet. So the guy won a zero trust, but the AD has everyone have privilege, everyone has too much things, and I say, whoa, how you want to go to zero trust now? Let's do babe steps, right? Let's do it. Here we call step by step, or babe steps is the right thing. So let's do the babe steps. So we are sure that you're gonna do the basic, and then the next step is gonna be you can reach there, but don't try just because everyone says zero trust right now. Don't. If I sell you that, I'm be lying to you. It's not what we do. We provide solution. Your solution, your problem. I don't want to lie to you. I want a solution your problem. That's the give you a solution for your problem, and that's how we run here. How we learn with you guys every year and every opportunity, and that's a great thing to say.
This is not just a one-stop shop where we just give something and run away, right?
Yeah,
this is not like where just roadside vendors just selling T-shirt and then they just switch to the next street. No, it's not like that. No. So you need to educate them, and that comes with process. That comes with knowledge.
Yeah, that's it.
So you're not selling. You're just not selling that shirt there.
No.
You're not selling discounts either.
It comes with love. It does not come with a price.
Yeah, that's exactly.
See, going back to what Diogo was saying, on our previous life, we used to sell discounts. So
yeah, that's was a bad vendor, man. Very bad vendor. One time, I listened from their CEO. They said $1 today is better than $2 tomorrow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on that.
When he said that $1 today is better than $2 tomorrow, so he was saying give you 50% discount to close today. I said, what the fuck? No, that's no value in the product. I really was. That's not the real thing. The product has his value. If he's saying that, what's gonna happen? All the market in the end of the month, we want 50% discount because they learn. They know that vendor already. It's how they run the things. And when I first arrived in the ManageEngine, and I was amazing because there's nothing like that. Well. It's not today, no problem. Tomorrow, when you be ready, it's tomorrow. It's not today. There's no pressure.
If it's in 6 months, it will be here in 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
And $1 today, it'll $2 tomorrow and $2 next month. It's
no problem.
It's
the same
$2.
thing. Yes, it's $2 because that's the value of thing. So that's we really people really have to learn. To see the value, and we talk a lot about the value, not the price. So
a lot of culture too. It's a different. It's a difference between your Indian culture and the American attitude of let's close it today and make it happen. Well, you guys have a long-term view of the future, right?
Yeah. And because the guys have, well, Zoho is an important thing to say. It's not bootstrap, so there's no outside money. The investor pressing for numbers and reports. Now, tell us about it, how it is. It's just there's no that kind of pressure, right?
Right? Absolutely no pressure. I mean, if you walk, I mean, Diego, you've been to Chennai, right?
Yeah.
Quite a number of times. Anderson, Gomez, and Emanuel, please come whenever you guys find time. When you love traveling, come home, see us. You'll see how low everybody is. When I say low, even Sridhar will be walking right.
You mean low key?
Right, low key. Sridhar will just be walking beside you.
I had a picture with him. I was he was coding. He was sitting on the floor. He was coding. Right. And I look there. That's him. And I said, look again. And then I sit. Let's take a selfie, please.
Exactly, right? There's not only Sridhar. It could be with Sailesh. It could be with T-Money. It could be with Rajesh or Madhi or anybody from Zoho, right? Everybody is just low-key. Everybody just wants to help people. They're super grounded. So this is not someone coaching another person to help. It comes with the culture. And also, it's about, listen, we're here to grow together. We stick together.
It's great and
the
beautiful.
team that grows together wins the championship, right?
Yes.
That's exactly the process that we follow here. And there's no pressure. Of course, there would be performance metrics. Of course, no company goes without performance, right? So how could we do better with less is exactly the mantra that we do, but with zero compromise on security, zero compromise on going and doing shady or dirty jobs, right? Go there, show what we have, and help people solve their problem. This is the mantra that we follow. Absolutely no pressure.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's all about the solution. It's all about the growth. It's all about
and about the customer.
Yeah, the customer. Because when it's focused on the money, today or tomorrow, the customer is going to feel that. It's about their money. I always feel. And it's terrible. I'm here. I'm a director of customer experience, and we talk all the time about solution, all the time about the challenge, all the time about the people focused on that, and it's the most important. The money, it's a consequence because we are working, but the focus is always the solution.
Solve the problem. Yeah.
So the cost part, I generally don't talk bad about our competitors. It's never a style at Zoho. We only take experience. People, especially in the pandemic, you would be surprised when they could see the value and the cost slashed by almost 1/3, right, with respect to what they were paying, and the value was more. This is not a selling point, but since you brought in this with respect to the pricing, with respect to how we could offer optimum cost-efficient output. So this is exactly what people told us when they found ManageEngine or Zoho solutions. We compete within. When I say how strong and how competing our products could be, that's the race we are running. So we're not like worried about reaching a milestone because our competitor was there. Of course, the competitor was good. They've reached there. We are good. We believe in ourselves. We will reach there. It's all about believing and growing together.
That's great, man. Great.
So back to this hack, this Equifax hack. I mentioned earlier, they may have compromised the information of 143 million Americans, which is a lot of Americans. So in light of this, as a service to the public, we've actually done this before, and it's very effective. We asked people who are passing by our theater today what password they use to protect their personal information. And pay attention, please, because there are a lot of important tips to be shared here.
We are talking to people about the cybersecurity breach at Equifax, and in light of that, we're asking people how secure their internet passwords are. What do you use for an internet password?
I usually stick to my last name. That's probably not the best thing to do, but I usually stick to my last name, a few digits, maybe like a hashtag or something, or...
How do you spell your last name?
Walker.
Walker?
Yeah.
Walker?
Yeah.
And then just a few numbers?
Yeah, I probably should have told you that.
And then a hashtag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The numbers, like, what do you use? Like your birthday or something? Your area code?
Yeah. Usually like my birthday.
How old are you?
21.
21? What day are you born?
November. No, the 29th.
29th of November?
Yeah.
So Walker, 11/29/95.
Woo! I probably shouldn't say that, but...
That's okay.
Yeah.
How strong is your internet password?
Strong.
What sort of things do you use?
Capital letters, lowercase letters, numbers, characters, everything.
What's a current password you're using?
I don't really want to tell a current password that I'm using, to be honest.
You think I'm a hacker?
Not necessarily. Well, I mean, I guess, like 63XJ9 hat symbol, at symbol, basically. All characters, pretty random assortment, and I just try to memorize.
You use that one?
Yes.
Thank you. What is your internet password that you use for your email?
In and Out 2017.
That was easy.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
My internet password is capital W @TER capital B 0 NG waterbong.
Yeah, we probably could have guessed that one.
My internet password is okay.
Yeah.
Mila for what's MILA64.
Well, that's nice. Now Americans can hack into a Russian website. No, that'd be fun. Hello, sir. What is your name?
Jerry Reed.
Jerry, where are you from?
Whittier, California.
What do you do out there besides scare school children? How strong is your internet password?
I'd say pretty strong.
Yeah. What sort of things do you use for it?
Things that I like.
What sorts of things do you like?
Maybe a dog, an animal, a place I've been, someone I know.
So like Rover Mental Ward.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, well, that's... Jerry, don't worry. Don't worry at all. Your secret is very safe with us, okay?
Well, thank you.
Okay, you just keep this between all of us.
Thanks, Jimmy.
All right, you're welcome, Jerry. All right.
Well, Harish, how great it was hear about everything you told us. What a lab you guys have, because you have 20,000 users and you have a big lab. You guys knows the challenge on your skin. So we know every time you show us a new feature, it's about a new challenge that you guys already win. And it's great. It's beautiful. We have so much trust in ManageEngine solutions because you guys live your solutions. It's not about selling something. And how great it was hear from you so much. But please give your listeners your final considerations. What you give us today.
Right. So this question is how I was raised in India. Right. 1 year you do school and people always wait for the crash course. That last bit of a month where you pour in about the last 11 months that you learned. So this is the crash course that we always love back in India, right? And this is a checklist which I offer to people. First thing is know which industry you belong. When I say industry you belong, it could be if you're in the IT sector, if you're in a healthcare sector, if you are in banking, BFSI, banking, financing, service industry, you need to know where you stand first. 2 is know how many people exist in your infrastructure, what are your resources, where's your data, and from there, clean up, work backwards. Clean up, clean up, clean up. Do not show mercy anywhere. Don't give them extra privilege. And if they need access, let them ask. Let them come to you. Now with our solutions or with Active Directory, you could go ahead and find out and give them time-based access, where you could go ahead and give them just enough time access and revoke permissions. And once you start building there, focus on your perimeter. When I say perimeter, your network, your switches, routers, firewalls, your databases, your everything, internal and external communication needs to be monitored. And do not let go of any of your applications, because at the end, logs do not lie. They give you the information that you're looking out for. And once you connect all of these logs into a SIEM, this is your first step towards cybersecurity. And from there comes machine learning, which enhances your job, your day-to-day job at work. And from there, you keep building with a system or a solution. That's the only way forward. If you're going to look into native technologies, well, they're good, but not to where you want today. And that's exactly where ManageEngine can help you. Talk to Diego, talk to Anderson, talk to Emanuel, talk to Gomez, talk to us. Give us your problem, and we will ensure that we point you in the right direction.
That's excellent consideration, Harish. And well, it was a really privilege to have you with us. I really appreciated all the time that you and all the info and insights that you passed to our Brazilian fans over here and guys that are listening to us. And my final question is, when are you coming to Brazil?
Very soon. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Very, very soon, God's grace.
Yeah, yes. Thanks a lot, Harish. Appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thanks, guys. Keep well. Thank you for having me.
Este foi mais um episódio da 3ª temporada do Podcafé da TI. Um oferecimento ACSoftware, liderança em soluções para gerenciamento de TI. Se você quer sugerir um tema ou falar com a nossa equipe, escreva para podcast@podcafeti.com.br. Edição e mixagem Marcos Gonçalves, locução e edição de áudio @MarcosGNC.